if you're looking for something that gives you really big, awesome destination space, even washer dryer capability, warranty for full-time RVing, carpetless, big tall ceilings, etc., but you also might want to tow it from time to time, this might be that tricky little portable park model you've been looking for. Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd here with Bish's RV today with the new 294 CKBS Eagle HD. I've been waiting for this thing to come out. It's one that really excited me. The thing is, like, if I describe this on paper, if you've seen the 330 Eagle, it's just its little brother. Like, that is technically true, but it doesn't feel accurate whatsoever. I think what they did is, in most ways, they took the 330, where you could potentially say it's overdone, overblown, oversized, and they scaled it down a little bit to the point of intelligence. I think that's kind of where this one comes in. I think this is a dynamite floor plan that they really nailed well. So what we're looking at here is what I commonly refer to as a flat deck fifth wheel. You've got opposing living room super slides that are carpetless. You've got a full queen or king bed slide. You're dual air capable, hot cold camp rated. Again, warranty for full-time RVing. Jayco's best-in-class 2+3 year warranty. All those big, awesome things that you're looking for, like a wet bay docking station in a huge front storage compartment, things that you expect out of a fifth wheel, you can't always find in a travel trailer. You're getting all of that here. Now, I kind of called it a bit of a portable park model. It's still about 9,500 pounds dry weight, and it might be a little more or a little less than that depending on how you option it. But what I mean by that is, like, I don't feel this is a fit for a half ton. Let's get that out of the way. I think you're going to want a solid 3/4 and up. I don't think you'd be disappointed having a 1 ton, although I think a single rear wheel would work fine here. What you're getting here is something that can give you that big destination space that you want for extended stays and seasonals, but it's manageable for towing. It's not like a 13,000 pound travel trailer, which those big, like, destination trailers do exist. If you want to be able to snowbird and sunbird, maybe you don't even have a vehicle. We can set you up with a shipper, and somebody can move this north or south or east or west once or twice for a year, save you a ton of money compared to a truck payment. That's the kind of crafty stuff we can do for you. If you appreciate little tips like that, make sure you hit our little subscribe button. Let's get inside.
Now, visually at a glance, and especially just here on camera, where you only really have a two-dimensional look at things, there's not a whole lot that really separates this from what I'm going to call Big Bird, the 330 RSTS, the Big Eagle, as opposed to one of these HTs. Now, again, that name HT, I think is kind of originally intended to imply half-ton towable. I flat out, I don't consider this half-ton towable. So HT is just a name, not necessarily an indication of towing. But, you know, what separates this? You know, what exceptional qualities does this have? Because it's a fairly common floor plan. It's done very well. Where does it stand out? And one of the major qualities is right up top here with a 7-foot ceiling. I think Grand Design's Reflection 315 is one of the only other things with a big 7-foot ceiling like this. And where Big Bird takes it up a step further is by going to a 7'3" ceiling, which is kind of cool. Now, I like to sit down in, like, say, the primary seating and kind of look around a little bit. You know, give you a look in the driver's seat, as it were. And one of the cool things on this one is that you notice how the TV's not all the way up to the ceiling. You don't have to neck crank your head up. It's a very comfortable, no neck wrecker entertainment center. And of course, we got the little Tootsie Toaster right down below. Just below that little Bluetooth soundbar. I'm actually really glad manufacturers are moving away from those big, like, surround sound systems. Like, surround sound. Yeah, it sounds really neat. But if you actually ever used an RV, they drown everything out because there's speakers blaring sound from every which way. And it just didn't matter where you were. It always felt like you had to shout at one another if the TV or the stereo or something were playing. You know what I mean? Now, if you notice on this one, one of the awesome qualities on this floor plan is that just every window opens for airflow, and the entire door side of the living room of this thing is nothing but windows. You have amazing visibility all over the place. But this time, you notice those little black dots kind of hanging down spider-like, you know, in the middle of the windows there. I lovingly refer to those as the drop knobs. These have blackout roller shades all the way through, which is kind of a nice thing here. Now, this is a model here where you have a choice between a table and chairs and a booth. I personally suspect this 2+2 table arrangement where you have 2 guest chairs and then 2 fixed chairs will probably be the most popular arrangement. But I ask you folks, would you rather have a booth, or would you rather have the table and chairs arrangement that we're looking at here? The table and chairs makes it super obvious, though, that we are carpetless even through the slide, and I love how they make the slide floor match the main floor. That is my personal preferred way of going about this stuff. Theater seat over here, again, directly across from the entertainment. And every single one of those air vents that we looked at, they can all turn and close individually. So, like, maybe you're laying right in the sun, like you're taking a little nap and snooze lounge back here across the sofa. You got the sun beating on you. It's nice to kind of have some air directly blowing your direction. Or, maybe it's freezing you out. You don't want that. Well, you don't have to. Remember I said blackout roller shades. There's a good example of it. And if you notice, it's easy to miss. I'll get you up close in a second. Both sides of that hide-a-bed right there have household and USB outlets on the face of those side stands. Again, it is a little bit easy to miss because it's a little bit of a dark on dark situation. Let me get you up here. Notice I intentionally try to go slow, by the way, so as to not make people like motion sick and whatnot. Now, I mentioned how you could lay on this couch and have like a little midday snooze. One of the other really cool things here is that TV can pivot around. So, if you are hanging out on the couch, like if you prefer to lounge, or if you're on the theater seat, you can have yourself a good view of the entertainment center from there. Or frankly, you could pivot it over toward the dining if you want to sit down and have a meal and kind of keep an eye on things. But again, a little quick view from the sofa here. And one of the other differences between an HT and a Big Bird Eagle is going to be your kitchen countertops. Here, we're getting sealed edge thermal foil. You'll get the same thing in like the bathroom and whatnot. When you go up to a full Big Eagle, what you're going to start running into is solid surface in the kitchen, and actually even residential soft close drawers. Now, looking through all the kitchen storage here, this is something that they both do very well, but this is going to be one of the significant differences between the two in terms of like what refrigerators are available. So standard in this RV would actually be an 8 cubic foot gas electric two-way. And I think a lot of people feel that is maybe a little bit lacking for a floor plan of this size, But as you see in here, we have that 12 volt DC compressor fridge. But notice how there's that two-door pantry right beside it. That's not an accident. If you're interested in this floor plan, you can actually oops, sorry, I'm kicking something behind me. I'm not sure what that was. But it's the gas strut protector cover in case some klutz like me decides he wants to walk through here and kick the dumb thing. Okay, well, at least it's doing its job. What I was getting at, you can swap in like a 4-door gas electric fridge, but you lose that pantry over there. You always, at least have some kind of storage in a few other places. Well, let me revisit that in a second. I wanted to make sure you got to see all the little nooks and crannies and power outlets on this, though, so that you know where you have room to plug in your appliances. Did you notice, too, that is a larger 22-inch oven if you're a serious campsite cook. And, again, some power outlets both on the side of that little kind of coffee bar over there, or whatever you want to call it, as well as under those overhead cabinets. And then we work our way right up here to the bathroom and the bedroom. But guys, I had an idea! It's so stupid. One of the cool things on this RV is it has the J command system, where if you want to hook your phone to it and control lights and fans and stuff like that, you can. But it also just has light switches. You don't have to go Bluetooth digital. And actually, right on the face of the control panel here, you can turn effectively almost every light in the RV on and off with one switch like that too. So they give you a lot of different control methods, but if you're low tech, you still just have a switch. And did you notice you have a separate little welcome home light here by the door as compared to leaving all the lights on in your RV the entire time and causing a big old cloud of gnats to form around the thing? Because if there's one thing I love after camping for a day, it's just chewing on gnats when I come back into my camper. Delicious. Probably high in protein per capita though, but Now, as we head up to the bathroom, because they used a swinging door and not a slider, they were able to use it differently. And they were able to include a little, towel bar here. I prefer towel bars over towel hooks. RV owners, what is your preference there? Little details too. Jayco does this very commonly, allows you to lock the bathroom door. And when the door closes, the toilet paper holder is basically right by your knee where it makes, a little bit of sense. Now, in the living room, you might have noticed the brown on brown Craftsman decor. You have the option of going to the modern farmhouse decor. So basically anything that's brown would be kind of like the white that we're looking at over here. The bathroom will always be farmhouse, but with that naval blue accent that we're looking at here on like your backlit morning mirror and below the sink. The idea there being that, in your house, the decor probably is not exactly like you have in the rest of your home. But, kind of one of those things. Now, you saw excellent headroom in here. With this being 7 foot tall, they have room for all kinds of headroom up there, which I really enjoy. That's actually a funny thing. If you're a really tall person, a travel trailer is often a better fit for you than a fifth wheel. Because fifth wheels are already so tall, they can't just build them taller because then you start having issues going under overpasses. Now, this does use floor vented heating. And yes, there's a heat vent in the floor here. But notice how it's kind of out of the way, even when you're walking in and out of the shower. So if you're going to do floor vented heating, I think that they did it really well here. Well, so they're maintaining the good benefits of the better heating function of floor vented heating while making sure you're not dripping down the thing. And obviously in front of that porcelain foot flush stool, some good legroom there. But what's interesting here is the way the bathroom storage kind of plays along with the bedroom. And I mean, if I'm just going to be nitpicky, a little open space there for a wastebasket would be nice. Beyond that, I can't really complain about it too much. But up here, this is, it could be your linen space. It could be a couple things. We're going to revisit this in the bedroom a little bit because depending on what you do with it, you may lose it in the bathroom. Because if we peek through here, through the dark, you might notice there's doors on the other side of it. And we'll get there in just a moment, but first, a look here from the bed looking forward. This is optioned with the second air conditioner here in the bedroom. Standard is going to be a single 15,000 BTU air conditioner. You can build this with 2 of those centralized from the factory, obviously. You've got full front wall closet on this thing, and what's cool on this floor plan is no matter what you do, it will always be full front closet. So you might be going, wait a minute, you're telling me this is not washer dryer prepped? Again, we'll get back to that in just a moment. First of all, just looking around at all the storage here, the front closet actually has 3 sliding door panels, basically 3 separate closet sections in there, which I think is kind of cool. I mean, you can, because it has 3 separate sections, that means that it has 2 support beams or walls in between, so you really maximize the structural support on that. Now, you see how under the bed there was full storage? That's a perfect place to keep those guest chairs, or frankly, even maybe a little pull-out table, folding table that you could use in front of the sofa. And I have been very vocal about the fact that RV bedding is not fantastic, but this is not actually terrible. Now, that is going to be a very personal and subjective thing to say, but I don't think the bedding in that is awful. We're looking at the 70-inch wide, 80-inch long king bed today. You can also get this, I believe standard actually, is a 60 by 80 true queen. Notice, though, that you're maintaining those roller shades with the drop knobs all the way through this thing. Those are breeze windows, by the way. The queen bed will also give you small side stands inside the slide box, which is nice. But remember, I talked about washer dryer stuff. Flipping around a little bit, facing the other direction, that's where you see those things. That bedroom, bathroom kind of shared closet space. This is, I think, going to be a very make or break thing. How somebody uses this RV is going to be really determined by that little, space in the corner over there. Are you going to use it as a washer dryer? Are you going to use it as just generic shelving space? And again, what's kind of interesting here is because your washer dryer hookup, which is combo only. This is not stackable or side-by-side capable like its Big Brother 330 Big Bird Eagle. That's going to be one of the other major differences. Refrigerator size, ceiling height, second awning outside that we'll talk about in a minute, and stackable versus combo washer dryer. I think that's going to be a major differentiating factor between the two. What I don't know is what we're going to get in road mode, and we're about to find out. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the best news to show for you this time in road mode. Not quite as good as what I was hoping for, but I hope you appreciate the fact that even when something's not awesome, we're willing to give you a fair look at it so that you know what you're getting before you spend, serious money on one of these things. Basically what I'm getting at, bedroom and bathroom, not really a problem there. That's pretty normal when you have a door side hallway. But unless you're really scrawny, you're not really getting in here. And even if you do, HT Eagle does this a lot. The island overlaps with the fridge door just enough that even if you can slip through there, unless you open that slide a little bit, you really can't garner too much from it. You can't get anything in there. And again, I don't love that, but I'm not going to mask it. I'm not going to conveniently not talk about it. I'm going to shoot you straight. I'm going to be fair. We're going to step outside.
Now, outside here, I've only really detected one, I think, significant area where this varies from the 330 RSTS, like, super brother to this thing, and that is that this one appears to be single awning and single awning only, meaning not prepped for a second awning on the face of that slide, which is something I would like to see, but I suppose I have that available by stepping up to the Big Brother 330. But again, most of those main features are still here. Like you get that extra large grab handle, where, if you've got like a grandbaby, a toddler visiting, or, hey, not even my grandmother at this point, but just my parents, they can really benefit from having that extra grab handle there. And Eagle always uses those zero gravity, like easy lift and lower steps just to get in. Lifting that up and down is easier. Again, if you've had like a bad shoulder or something, that's not too bad. Over here under the patio space, they do something I love. This is the nerd preferred way to do it. If you're gonna give me outside speakers, get them low. And I prefer that so that I'm not blowing away the neighbors when I'm sitting down in a chair. The speakers are a little bit closer to my head. That works better for me. Now over here, these always have their little J port. If you're not familiar with this thing, it's effectively like a 2-inch receiver hitch off the side of the trailer. Now you could theoretically use that for the bumper dumper, and if you do that, I can guarantee you will not have to worry about neighbors for the week. They will stay away from you, and chances are they'll leave their site. Even if it's a seasonal, they're gonna be like, nope, not doing this. I'm getting out of here. I'm done camping. Actually, that could be a whole business model. We'll send you folks out with bumper dumpers, and then you can, with business cards to our consignment offerings. Magnet holdbacks, you see the double slam latches, but everything on this is key to like. So you don't have to walk around, like with a toddler entertaining jingling key thing. Anybody else ever do that? You just, when your kids in the grocery store, you just jingle your keys a little bit. My wife would do that, and I'd sit there like, keys. She's like, shut up and pay for the groceries already. I'm like, sorry. Anyway. Little cold water sprayer port over here. Notice how Eagle is including the little like multi-function garden hose sprayer on there, which reminds me, one time I tried to punch a cloud, missed. Crazy, right? Now the front pass-through here, it's interesting to me that in the 22 generation they did away with the front drop frame. I don't fully yet understand why, but at the same time, this is not a small storage compartment. And in case you're curious, there is a little like outdoor picnic table that you can get with this thing that would slot in those little brackets up there. Or you could repurpose that, kind of maybe put some little padding on that, make that a fishing pole holder, something like that. I don't know. Jayco doing Jayco things. We've got the motion lighting on both sides of the pass-through, which is nice. TV hookups and all that good stuff over here. Although, being fair, what they did not include for us with those TV hookups is a way to like run some cables down the power and the coax cable outside of the RV. We have to keep the door open all the time. Not the end of the world, but just a little thing that we're going to have to do here. You also see this does have an enclosed like wet bay over there. We're going to see that in a second. But this big boxy thing right there, you see that little access panel? That is where the wiring comes down. That's where the wiring is located for your solar charge controller. Little bit better look at where that charge controller access panel is located over there as we teleport ourselves over to the other side of the pass-through over here on the driver's side now to the wet bay. And you see like a big fifth wheel. You've got a galvanized rolled steel like docking station over here. What I like about this is that all of my gate valves and everything are enclosed, heated, protected. They're even above the floor. Well, the poles are. Your gate valves are likely down below. This is just a cable pole. but all the stuff is up here away from the weather. These are hot, cold camp rated. And you see how you do have a full outside shower here. And up top, you notice that little bitty plug hiding up there. This is roof solar prepped. They have factory solar options, but you can also get a little portable panel if you are so inclined right there. And thankfully on that side of the RV, they did leave us one of those handy little feed ports where if you want to run your cables outside and leave that door shut, you can. Otherwise, that would kind of be a little bit awkward. Big full nose cap on this thing, and I really should have lit it up. This has the lightsaber lighting on the nose. You know what? I don't know necessarily how impacting it's going to be during the day, but I got a battery sitting right there. Let me ignite that lightsaber for you. Stand by. But you can't do it without making the sound. Like, you know what? I could never be in a Star Wars movie because I would constantly be going like, I just couldn't help it. There's also handy little docking lights down there. Now, this is a really special thing they do up front. Eagle Series trailers have just this big front cargo tray. You can load it up with lots of batteries. It is sized. If you want to throw a generator on there, you can behind those 30-pound propane tanks. There are some instances, depending on your preference of hitching, where this can be a bit of a problem, but notice as compared to recent years, they actually put a little spacer on that now so that most hitching systems are now able to fit in there. That is something they listened to the feedback, they got that addressed, they took care of it. Now we've got that full pass-through, but we also got a little storage right there under the bed. But notice too, the depth of that bed slide. You notice how it actually sticks out further than the kitchen slide. That is a full depth bed slide, like roughly about 3 foot deep. That's something, I don't know if I did a good job explaining that inside the RV. That means more room at the foot of the bed to be able to, get dressed. If you look at the top of that slide, you also see where she's slide awning ready, so that makes it just a little bit easier to apply some LCI slide awnings to that. And I mentioned how there's storage under the bed here, but notice how it's still separated from the inside versus the outside. So depending on what you put in here, you don't necessarily have like a mingling of storage, as it were. One of the other really cool things about this floor plan is it is a single sewer outlet. Because the kitchen and the bathroom are basically right next to one another, all of the holding tanks are kind of in the middle of the camper, and it makes it so much easier to have one single outlet. We have our factory Goodyear Endurance radials over here. I think those are the 16-inch tires. This floor plan might be big enough that it might not even be optional here. We may have added those. I'm not sure. I have to verify that because this is a new floor plan. Sometimes certain floor plans have special rules. But 80 mile an hour rated and 80 PSI. So if you go to like a gas station pump, you can put air in these. You don't need like an industrial tire shop. And you might be looking at this going, what is that thing? Well, that is actually one of the cool new for 22 updates, is that all of the Eagles now standard have the BM Pro TPMS integration. So basically that talks to the brain command center of this thing. So one app is doing like our slides, our awnings, our TPMS, all kinds of stuff, our tank monitoring. So, you don't have to go juggling multiple devices. You've already got your phone. I do recommend though, while you're driving, hand that over to your co-pilot. Don't distract yourself while you're driving when you've got a 9,500 pound plus cargo trailer behind you. Keep your eyes on the road, keep your hands on the wheel, keep yourself safe, and get yourself there. I don't know. That sounded a little bit less like Uncle Josh and a little bit more like, okay, Dad. But it is good advice, frankly. I don't care. So you notice up top, like almost every RV, backup camera ready. Okay, fine. And you can get a factory backup camera, but this is also prepped for side cameras if you want a full observation suite so that you can see down your trailer when you're going down the road. Now, speaking of seeing down your trailer, two things. First of all, you've got all the windows in the world over here letting you look down your campsite. I know that was a bit of a stretch, but work with me here. The other thing is you have the J-Smart lighting system. So if you flip on your right-hand turn signal, all the lights down the side of this RV and extra clearance lights at the top of the RV, you see how those are doubled up, Well, that will give the other drivers on the road better understanding of your intentions, plus backup lighting. And on the back here, might be a little hard to see because I'm a little far away, this does have a 300-pound accessory hitch if you want to add some bike racks. Now, travel trailers in 48 of the 50 great states, it is not legal to tow a trailer behind a trailer, although in many of those states you can tow a trailer behind a fifth wheel. And I don't want to miss the fact that even though that J port with the you know, like the grill mount, and there is a grill hookup up there, is up front, they still include one of these all the way on the back. Now, it is technically side facing, which does technically make it a propane cooker hooker, but I mean, that is as close to a propanus as one is going to get, right? Now, there are plenty of great RVs out there. A lot of them have almost identical roof structures, and this isn't terribly dissimilar. The one major thing they're really doing differently here is they're using plywood roof decking instead of OSB. It's going to give them a greater load capacity. Also, God forbid, like Mother Nature throws a stick and tears the roof membrane on this, which could happen to literally any of these things that we're looking at, understand. If plywood gets wet, it will swell. But when it dries, it basically returns back to its original shape, enough that you can probably get by with it without major extensive repairs being required. That's one of the cool things about these up here. That's part of that 2+3 year warranty Jayco's have. Now, Jayco is using radiant barrier material through the roof, down the nose, under the belly. They've been doing that for a while. That's part of their hot cold camping package, you know. But little things like this I like. Again, the different type of Max Air vent fan, so you don't have to go adding a vent cover after the fact, some of which the install of those vent covers could actually negatively affect specific aspects of your warranty. Now, that's becoming less common, but now it's a complete non-issue, you know. That is our roof solar prep plug right there. Again, there are some factory solar options. We could build you a more custom solar package. You still have that portable package as well. And I tell you what, again, I've said this a few times, but compared to the last couple years where we were just sucking fumes for inventory, looking around, seeing all these used RVs, seeing a sea of new RVs available again, it is so nice having this stuff in stock and not having to point at a catalog and say, well, would you like to order one and just hope it's what you want? Personally, man, I'm a person who tries the pants on for size in the dressing room before I buy them. Come to our dressing room, try on your travel trailer and fifth wheel pants for size, and let's get you camping. So let me know what you think of the new girl right here. I don't know, whatever. Click the like button. Maybe let's try that. That would be delightful if you could do that. And if this is your first time with us, hit that subscribe button, because pretty much every day we've got 1 or 2 videos coming out, tips, tricks, news updates, RV reviews like this, all kinds of stuff for you. So if you're kind of trying to get your feet wet, you're trying to learn, do that 90% learning before you spend 10% time at a dealership making the purchase, we can help you get there with Bish's RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun. Remember to check that link in the video description for pricing and availability, everyone.